A jackpot win is supposed to end with a celebration, cheers, lights, a stamp on a ticket. But when the payout is unusually large, what happens next is not visible to anyone on the floor. Hidden systems activate, floor supervisors log every detail, and the win is quietly marked as an operational anomaly. The event seems finished. Behind the scenes, a different story begins, one most players never realize exists. A jackpot ticket sits on the counter, fresh from the slot machine's printer. Its serial number and timestamp are clear, printed in black ink above the amount. Lights still flash, but attention shifts as a supervisor steps in. Without a word, the ticket is scanned and checked against the system. The supervisor's hand moves with practiced routine, pressing a rubber stamp onto the paper. The mark is simple, with date, time, initials, leaving a permanent record on the ticket itself. On the slot machine's screen, a confirmation message appears, echoing the ticket's unique serial code. For a moment, the celebration pauses. The ticket becomes more than a souvenir. It is now an artifact, carrying the exact details of the win. The details are specific: the machine's ID, the time down to the second, the precise dollar amount. This stamped ticket, along with its digital twin in the casino's database, forms the first official trace of the event. The process is silent, almost routine, but every detail is fixed, ready for whatever comes next. Not every jackpot draws the same level of attention. Casinos rely on a set of internal rules to decide when a win stands out from the rest. These rules go beyond the dollar amount printed on a ticket. Each payout is measured against a threshold, sometimes as simple as a round number, sometimes calculated by how much it exceeds the statistical average for that machine. A win that lands more than 3 standard deviations above the expected payout is no longer routine. The system assigns it a higher visibility score, not just for the size, but for the way it disrupts the usual flow of play. Timing plays a role too. A large win during a slow hour, or on a rarely played machine, is flagged for its variance from the norm. These metrics, built into the slot management software, quietly sort jackpots into ordinary and outlier categories. Once an event crosses the threshold, it moves from celebration to classification, triggering a different kind of attention, one that's measured, silent, and procedural. Crowds gather around the winning machine, drawn by the sound and spectacle. On the surface, the moment belongs to the players, a celebration of cheers and flashing lights, the echo of excitement across the floor. Away from the noise, another layer unfolds. Surveillance cameras, fixed and silent, record every angle: the winner, the machine, the ticket. In a separate room, operators watch banks of monitors, eyes moving from screen to screen, logging events as they happen. Their voices are absent, replaced by the quiet hum of air conditioning and the soft click of keyboards. At the same time, the slot management system captures the session's digital fingerprint. Fields fill automatically: machine ID, session start and end, payout code, player card data if present. Each attribute is stored independently from the floor's commotion. Audio is not needed. The system cares only for numbers, timestamps, and codes. This record enters the back end, isolated from the celebration. For every shout of luck, there is a silent entry in a database, preserved for later review. The event is now 2 things at once: a public win and a private data point. Within seconds of a flagged jackpot, the slot management system generates an event code. The machine's data, amount, timestamp, player card if used, travels to a back-end queue. Software modules then sort the entry using preset thresholds. Codes like JPay, VARALT, or Risk High appear in the log, each one tied to a specific rule. A win that crosses an internal line is automatically labeled auto-flagged, pending review, or high risk. These status labels do not appear on the casino floor. Instead, they update silently in the compliance dashboard. The entire process, from printing the ticket to back-end categorization, usually takes less than 10 seconds. The event then sits in a queue, waiting for a compliance analyst to review. Most entries are processed in minutes, but high-priority flags can move faster and are routed to senior staff. The system records every step, event code, timestamp, and status, creating a digital trail that remains invisible to anyone not watching the back end. After the payout, the casino floor returns to its usual rhythm. Machines continue spinning, chips move across tables, and new players fill empty seats. For the person who just claimed a jackpot, nothing feels out of the ordinary. No alerts appear on the screen. No staff member delivers a warning or sets new restrictions. The player's loyalty card, if used, still works as before. There are no messages, no hints that anything has changed. On the surface, the experience is seamless. The celebration fades, and the winner blends back into the crowd. The only record of the event is buried in the system, logged, categorized, and queued for review. There is no visible sign that the session now carries a different weight within the casino's back end. The gap between what is happening behind the scenes and what the player perceives stretches wide and silent. For now, the floor remains calm, and the player walks on, unaware. Most players walk away from a jackpot believing the process is finished. The payout is handed over, the ticket is stamped, and tax forms, if needed, are signed on the spot. Friends and bystanders offer congratulations, reinforcing the idea that the event is complete. In the eyes of the winner, any formal attention ends with the handoff of cash or check. The expectation is simple. Once the paperwork is done, there is nothing left to resolve. Many assume the only lasting record is for tax purposes, filed and forgotten until the next season. Few consider that internal systems retain more than just the payout amount. The belief in finality is shaped by the visible steps, validation, celebration, and the return to normal play. Any further action, if it happens at all, is assumed to be rare or reserved for rule breakers. For most, the jackpot is a closed chapter, with no reason to expect further observation. Records tied to a large jackpot do not vanish with the final payout. Instead, they settle quietly into long-term storage, preserved by compliance systems for months. Slot machine logs, event codes, and payout details remain accessible as part of a digital archive. Surveillance footage from the payout window is indexed, often retained for at least 2 weeks, and sometimes longer if flagged for review. Data from the winning session is not only stored, but periodically sampled. Audit teams, working apart from the casino floor, select logs for review windows, sometimes 30, 60, or 90 days after the original event. These reviews do not target individuals. They search for patterns, anomalies, or compliance with regulatory standards. Graphs and checklists track the frequency of flagged payouts, overlaying dates and event codes across months. The process is silent, systematic, and faceless. Each jackpot that draws operational attention becomes a data point in a larger trend, subject to future examination long after the excitement fades. A jackpot that once drew a crowd now sits as a line in a database. The celebration, the noise, even the paperwork all become a collection of entries, stored and indexed. What began as a moment of chance is absorbed by systems built for observation. Event codes, timestamps, and surveillance clips remain, not for the winner, but for the institution. The excitement of the floor fades, replaced by the quiet persistence of data. Months from now, a compliance analyst may review the same session, searching for patterns across rows of numbers. The win is no longer a story told among friends. It is a data point, compared, measured, and archived. The institution does not remember the celebration. It retains only the record. The focus moves from luck to process, from people to patterns. In the end, the jackpot is preserved not as fortune, but as information, silent, impartial, and enduring. Today, every high-profile win becomes another data point, quietly flagged, quietly watched. In regulated casinos, The systems never celebrate. They only record, monitor, and adapt. The real story isn't the jackpot, but the silent algorithms that follow. Like the video. Share it with others who gamble. Subscribe for more observational casino documentaries.